Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Gebo the Shaman, and today we are talking about, we're actually reading The Science of Light, An Introduction to Vedic Astrology by Tobias. And so, this is a great book. It's an awesome book. It's a great introduction to Vedic astrology. There's a lot of knowledge packed in here, and yeah, it's a lot to learn. It's a lot. So yeah, if you guys end up liking this video, you can click here or like and subscribe and all that stuff. It really helps the channel and stuff. Just really helps. And so yeah, if you like this book, if you're interested in picking this book, then I will have a link for it down below in the description too. So check that out. And the links that I provide are affiliate links. So if you want to support the channel and buy the book at the same time, then you can use the links. It doesn't cost you anything extra. Just a great way to help the channel and to get your hands on some Vedic astrology books. Alright guys, so thanks. So let's get into the book. This is called Science of Light by Tobias. And we are on chapter 3, chapter 3. It's going to be page 51 on the Kindle edition. So here we go, let's get into it. Alrighty. This is on Chandra, and which is basically the moon. So it says Chandra Moon. Pratyahara describes the moon as being Vata Kapha. And please forgive me with some of these Sanskrit words. It's a little bit hard for me to pronounce them correctly. So Pratyahara describes the moon as being Vata Kapha constitution with a large wide body. She is wise and has good intuition, sweet speech, is changeable or fickle-minded, and is a hopeless romantic. The moon is a reflection of the sun. Even though the sun may physically be extremely larger than the moon, from our vantage point, they appear the same size. The moon is the feminine yin energy, and the sun is the masculine yang energy. The movement of the sun and the moon is the dance of Shiva and Shakti, the god and the goddess. As the sun relates to the father, the moon relates to the mother. The sun relates to the day, and the moon relates to night. The sun rules the day, and the moon rules the night. The sun is the provider of resources, and the moon is the utilizer of resources. In business astrology, the sun shows supply, and the moon shows demand. The moon is the mother and shows nurturing and caring, providing the support to live and for all events to prosper. Let's see. As a mother loves all her children, the moon is friendly towards all the planets. Planetary combinations with the moon will show the quality of the mother in one's life, while the positions of the moon will show the presence of the mother in one's life. So basically let's see here. the moon is friendly towards all planets, and planetary combinations with the moon show the quality of the mother in one's life, and the position of the moon, which means the sign that it's placed in, the house that it's placed in, will show the presence of the position of the moon will show the presence of the mother in one's life. So for example, I have moon in Aquarius, but I was gonna go on a different track there. So let's get back on track. Let's see here. So planetary combinations with the moon will show the quality of the mother in one's life. The position of the moon will show the presence of the mother in one's life. As the father instills dharma, the mother instills the psychological nature and emotional health in a child. The moon represents the mother as well as the development in the womb and the early childhood development, which affects the psychology of the human mind. So the moon is really all about psychology, guys, and it's super important. This is why when we have less than optimal mothers, we have, psychological issues and stuff. So anyway, let's see. The mind is very changeable and colored by its associations, while the sun is only one color. While the sun is one color, burning away untruth. The moon is the mind mingling in material life with the illusions of name and fame. With the illusions of name and form. If the moon is with Saturn, the mother will be harsh or emotionally distant or unavailable, and the child will have a pessimistic view of life. If the moon is with Jupiter, the mother will be gentle and concerned about the child, and the child will have an optimistic view of life. Let's see here. So Ketu, the south node with the moon. So Ketu with the moon brings either psychic ability or schizophrenic tendencies, while Rahu with the moon mind brings Rahu with the mind brings with the moon brings confusion and addiction in one's mental tendencies. Confusion and addiction in one's mental tendencies. The moon shows general mental health and emotional resiliency. The moon shows how one emotionally relates to others, and plays an important role in relationships. In modern attachment theory, there are 4 attachment styles that indicate how a person experiences relationships. A beneficial moon associated with benefics indicates a secure attachment style. These people subconsciously believe their needs will be met and therefore show trust and empathy. They tend to build meaningful long-term relationships. The moon afflicted by Saturn can make one avoidant, and the person, So the moon afflicted by Saturn can make one avoidant, and the person subconsciously believes their needs will not be met. and therefore avoids conflict. So this would be a fearful avoidant. They often become emotionally distant in relationships and find ways to be unavailable. The moon afflicted by Mars can make one ambivalent, and the person feels like they cannot rely on their needs being met. They will often be anxious, controlling, blaming, and get angry easily. The moon afflicted by Rahu can give disorganized attachment style, where the person struggles with confusion and lacks a strategy to get their needs met. They may be untrusting, insensitive, and chaotic in how they handle their relationships. Let's see. The fourth house also needs to be evaluated to determine attachment style. Vedic astrology offers various remedies to help increase the sattva of moon and develop more secure emotional relating. I just gave you guys a very powerful mantra the other day for the moon that's called the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya mantra, and it is very powerful, very healing. So if you want to check that out, it's called the mantra to connect with your soul. So the mind reflects the soul when we have a strong mind, or the moon reflects the soul. So when we empower the moon, we are empowering our mind to reflect the light of the soul. So anyway, we'll continue with this. I'm going to grab a drink real quick and we'll continue. Okay, let's see, where was I at? Let's see here. So yeah, there's various remedies to help increase the sattva of moon and develop more secure emotional relating. The moon represents family, from the immediate family to the larger concepts of family, such as community, of neighbors and social communities. The moon represents society and social interaction, the interaction of many varied minds. The moon determines one's level of social concern. So yeah, moon is a very social planet. Moon determines one's level of social concern, where when the moon associates with Jupiter, expansion, the individual will have a high level of social concern. While if the moon associates with Saturn, which is contraction, there will be a distancing, and distancing, and the desire to be alone. Let's see here. The moon is fickle and changeable, like its many phases. The moon is beneficial the closer to full. So the closer to full the moon gets, the more beneficial it is. It's reflecting more of the lights, the light of the sun. So let's see here. Well, it becomes malefic. So the moon is beneficial the closer to full, while it becomes malefic, dark or difficult, the closer it is to new moon. So like I said, if it's like a new moon, then it's going to be more, difficult. Full moon, it's going to be more positive. And so this is how we, the waxing and waning of the moon. That's, yep. So, let's see here. So, in Ayurveda, the full moon is Kapha, robust in body type, while a new moon is Vata, which is skinny in body type. The moon is the fastest moving planet in the sky, just as the mind changes directions fast. Thoughts and emotions moving quickly through the field of the mind. The mind moves as prana flows in the body. The mind moves as the prana flows in the body, and where the mind goes, the prana will follow. There is a direct relationship between the breath and the mind. When the mind is fearful, the breathing quickens. When the mind is calm, the breathing slows. Yogis control their breath in order to control the mind. Through the breath, yogis gain control of the mind and transcend the ephemeral world to attain the pure absolute. So yeah, using your breath. I have some breathing exercises down here if you want to check those out. Also, incorporating Qigong, the breathing that we do in Qigong with the movements, that helps the breath too. That controls the mind and all that too. So definitely cool. So let's see here. Let's see. The sun shows the true reality, while the moon represents the reflected illusion. The mind works through images which evoke emotions. Emotions may reflect reality or may not. How the mind chooses to perceive reality is based upon the individual natal moon placement. The moon will show the emotional balance of an individual. The lunar constellation, or nakshatra, of the moon will show how the mind processes the individual's reality. That's important. That's, because like I said, there's subjectivity to the moon, and we all perceive things different. So it's important to know these things and to, if you're interested, get a Vedic Astrology reading. Alright, so let's see here. So the lunar constellations, or the nakshatra, is also called the lunar mansions. They're basically small constellations, and those will show how the mind processes an individual's reality. So that moon nakshatra is extremely important to study. Let's see here. Let's see. The mind works through sense organs. In mythology, the moon is sometimes shown being drawn by 5 horses representing the 5 senses. Interesting. So the mind works through the senses, through the sense organs. In mythology, the moon is sometimes shown as being drawn by the 5 horses representing the 5 senses. It is the 5 senses which feed the mind stimuli. In Ayurveda, the mind is treated through 5 sense therapies. The mind is treated through 5 sense therapies. And true rejuvenation of the mind happens when the mind is given rest from sensory stimuli called, please forgive me with this one. I don't know how to pronounce this stuff, but I'll try. It's called Pratyahara. So Pratyahara. The withdrawal of the senses by the mind. The withdrawal of the senses by the mind. This is when the moon firmly brings the 5 horses of the mind to a stop. Excess stimuli depletes the mind, creating anxiety. This is seen when Rahu associates with the moon. So if you have a moon-Rahu conjunction, that means you need to meditate and calm the mind because you have too much stimulation going on. Or if the moon is placed in a nakshatra ruled by Rahu, also too much stimulation going on. So let's see here. Or like your perception of the world can be too stimulating. So the moon is soft and vulnerable. It is easily hurt, disrupted, and damaged. The moon represents the home, and the home is a place of security. The moon is happiest when it's securely placed in a chart. So yeah, the moon is happiest when it is securely placed in a chart. The moon suffers most when it feels vulnerable. A weak moon will show more difficulty processing emotions and feelings. Happiness and sadness are states of mind. Illusory states that fluctuate as all other emotions do. True happiness is found at the level of the sun, the soul. Beyond the fluctuations and fickle nature of the moon, but the moon must be channeled in a direction that allows the pranas to be healthiest. And to create a fundamental state of happiness. This is achieved through bhakti yoga, the practice of devotion. I'm telling you guys, doing this stuff as a devotional practice, like doing it like I tell my students, do this every single day, and it will change you up here. It'll change your mind, your heart mind, and your mental mind. There's something to be said about daily discipline for sure. So, if you're interested in any of that, then check this stuff out. All right. Let's see here. So yeah. Let's see here. The moon must be channeled in a direction that allows the pranas to be the healthiest, and to create a fundamental state of happiness. This is achieved through bhakti yoga, the practice of devotion. When mental focus is one of devotion to a higher force, this brings the state of happiness, which is called sukha, in the mind. So this brings the state of happiness in the mind. The mind works through patterns of thought. Negative patterns lead to mental unhappiness. Positive patterns lead to well-being. Developing bhakti creates positive patterns creates positive patterns that direct the mind to happiness. These patterns and how to best correct them are seen from the condition of the individual's natal moon placement, indicating how to best direct the mind and through which archetypal forms. The moon's mother was Anusuya, the purest and most devoted woman in the world. Let's see here. The moon is watery and emotional, and relates to melody and singing. A person with the blessings of moon will be a good singer, with a with the melodious voice. When people wash themselves with water, the moon is strengthened and creates desire to sing. So this is why people love singing when they shower. Very interesting stuff here. Rain nurtures and feeds all plants. Rain nurtures and feeds all plant life on earth, nourishing all forms of life. The moon relates to the rain and to the growth of plants and herbs, bringing the primary significator for all food, being the primary significator for all food and herbs. Other plants relate to these secondarily. Chilies may be ruled by Mars and black peppers by the sun, but all herbs grow with the nurturance of the moon, and all healing happens through the mother's nurturance. It is the blessing of the moon. It is the blessings of the moon and Mercury that makes one a healer. Working with medicine, Mercury relates to the science and instruments of medicine, while the moon relates to the energetic healing side of medicine. In the West, these have been somewhat separated, but the unison of both is needed for a complete healing system. It is said that the moon is friendly to all planets, but Mercury has a dislike for the moon. In this way, we see the natural circumstance of energetic healers and to appreciate modern apparatus, while the modern science is less accepting of the lunar method of healing, calling it alternative. The moon was the child of the Rishi Atri, one of the main sages connected to Ayurveda. Let's see here. I'm gonna grab a drink, and we have like 2 paragraphs left, guys. Okay, let's begin. Let's finish it off. Okay, so the state of the mind directs the prana, and a calm mind brings about the calming and balance of vata dosha, the air humor. When the vata is balanced when the vata is balanced, the agni, digestion, is strong, and therefore the ohas, the immunity, is strong. So let's see here. So when the vata is balanced with the digestion is strong, and therefore the immunity is strong. True healing and health rests in the mind, and finding a balance and calmness in the mind. The best type of mental pacification, such as meditation, will be seen according to the state and placement of an individual's natal moon. So that's very, very true. Yeah, I've noticed this with my clients. I've noticed this with a lot of people. Some people have moon and Ketu, conjunction, a moon and Rahu conjunction, and it's really interesting to see the interaction there. So let's continue with medical significations and diseases. So this says Rakta Dhatu, which is, I don't know. Anyway, this says face, medical significations, Rakta Dhatu, face, blood, bodily fluids, stomach, lungs, left eye, breasts, sustaining ability of the uterus, ovaries, fertility, nutrition, mucous membranes. Interesting. Diseases, these are Vata disorders for a waning moon and Kapha disorders for a waxing moon. So basically what this means is, like, if you were born during a waning moon, when the moon was going to new moon, from full moon to new moon, that's a waning moon. Waxing moon would be going from a new moon to a full moon. So that's important. That's another important distinction to make here, because the state of the moon will kind of have a different effect on you, whether it was waxing or waning at the time of your birth. Okay, let's see here. So Vata disorders for a waning moon, Kapha disorders for a waxing moon. So blood and lymphatic system disorders, edema, dullness, laziness, moodiness, menstrual and hormonal disorders, breast cancers, sleep disorders, TB, sleep disorders, TB, tuberculosis, fear of watery animals. Affliction to the moon indicates lack of feeling safe or an inability to relax. So if your moon is debilitated or anything like that, you're going to feel unsafe, you're going to not be able to relax, things like that. It can indicate emotional or mood disorders, such as depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, and susceptibility to post-traumatic stress disorder. Another thing to look into if you have like that kind of stuff is complex post-traumatic stress disorder, or CPTSD. Alright guys, so yeah, I think that's about it for today. So thank you for joining me, and if you want to pick up the book, Science of Light, Introduction to Vedic Astrology, then you can check out the link below. And if you want a Vedic Astrology reading with me to discover your moon placement and all about your moon placement, then we can do that. You can go to vincent.thunderwizard.com, link is down below. You can also go here to linktree/Gebo the Shaman, and you can check out all that I have to offer, all my products, services, courses, everything that I have to offer over there, linktree/Gebo the Shaman. And then we have, so I do offer distance energy healings, and those combine Qigong and Reiki and Shamanic practices. To basically help you heal and stuff, and that could be emotional healing, psychological healing, physical healing. If your moon is badly placed, then that might not be a bad idea to get a distance energy healing. Anyway, I do have career coaching and life coaching, which I offer. So the career coaching is basically, it's all about finding your perfect career, and we were all born with a certain specific purpose, specific reason for being born, things like that. And yeah, it's so a lot of people are just floating on by, not knowing, you know, how to live their purpose and things like that. So so the life coaching and the career coaching helps you to discover your purpose, your specific purpose in life. And then we have the Shamanic Ritual Magic courses. So those are basically designed to go into your 9 levels of your unconscious mind and your psyche, and basically destroy all of your psychological blocks. That will dismantle them and remove them, and you will be able to have the wealth, health, happiness, love, success, all that good stuff that you want. And then we have the emotional awareness course, which is basically, and the support groups. So the emotional awareness course not only helps you become aware of your emotions, but also helps you cope with them. So making them a little bit less intense for you, a little bit less stressful, a little bit less unbearable. So anyway, and then the support groups are basically where we come together and share our emotions and things like that. And yeah, they're powerful stuff. You know, it's a great way to learn how to interact with others in a, you know, beneficial and constructive way. So yeah, yeah, that's all about all I have for you guys today. You can also check out my Qigong course and my self-transformation course at linktree/Gebo the Shaman. And all the links that you want to find from me, like all my products, services, courses, everything that I have to offer is at linktree/Gebo the Shaman. And you can find the links also in the description below. Alright guys, so thanks again, and we will talk to you next time. Peace.